Highlander was made in 1986, the year of my birth, and it's no doubt that this film, starring Christopher Lambert as the brave and immortal Connor MacLeod, was an epic tale of love, friendship, and an ever-going battle. But I'm not reviewing that movie. No, today I'm reviewing Druids. That's right, Jacques Dorfman's 2001 adventure biography war drama, thank you IMDb, starring Christopher Lambert. Yeah, once I picked this baby up, all I could think is, aw shit, it's about to go down. Right? Wrong. This movie is 2 hours of you being so goddamn bored out of your mind that you wish you were watching Highlander and God help me, any of its sequels. Oh shit. Maybe I was wrong. Any minute now, a spaceship is going to zip past the cameras so it can drop off Predator. No, never mind. That was just a majority of the film's budget flying past the screen. And here we have the movie's American title, Druids, while the French version is titled The Gaul, and an even earlier version is titled Vercingetorix. I have no problem with these titles. They should just cut the bullshit and title it Druids, not Highlander. The movie opens up in the middle of what can only be described as a wedding held at the Westboro Baptist Church, where it doesn't matter if you're standing in the middle of a field, you will still sound like you're talking in an empty hall.
Behold, the sign of the coming of a king.
The fuck was that? Next, we see our movie's main protagonist, Vercingetorix. Okay, 1 second. I get it. This movie's supposed to be based on true events and real people. But Vercingetorix is not a name that you should give any human being, let alone the star of our film. Vercingetorix sounds like the type of guy that would be hanging out with Nicolas Cage's Castor Troy from Face Off. They'd sit around and eat peaches and talk about hair grooming tips.
Do you know the meaning of my name? No. Vercingetorix, leader of great warriors.
That's when Vercingetorix meets a bum. Okay, well, he's not a bum. He's a druid from like 2 scenes ago, but still, they don't know that. And look what they do next.
I'm just a poor minstrel. In fact, my finances might greatly improve if I could gain entrance to yonder feast by the grace of some noble guest. Well, like yourself.
I would welcome you to Gergovia then. Take my horse.
What if this guy was a killer? You just gave a killer a horse. Yeah, he's gonna ride into town, he's gonna cut up your family in little pieces, and then he's gonna make winter coats out of their fucking skin. Congratulations, kid. You just made a whole fucking winter coat line out of the whole entire village. Congratulations. I mean, of course that doesn't happen, but probably make for a much better movie. Vercingetorix arrives to town just in time for the audience to see his uncle being confronted by one of the chieftains of Gaul. The chieftain tells him if his brother persists to get a king in Gaul, then he must kill his own brother.
You must obey our laws and separate his soul from his corrupted body.
So sure enough, his brother, Satiel, aka the bastard son of Hagrid and Ron Jeremy, meets up with the chieftains, and you guessed it, he won't shut the fuck up about wanting a king.
The people of Gaul united under a king.
This upsets Setiel's brother, who then orders to have his brother shot in the back with an arrow. Right, that's a special druid arrow, so no matter how bad of a shot you are, it always finds its way. As you can see, Vercingetorix takes the crown from his father, but is then grabbed by one of the chieftains who ends up stealing the crown. Yeah, we'll get to this guy later. Our young hero watches over with the bum from earlier as his father is burned alive by his uncle.
I will kill you, Gobanicio! I will kill you!
God, why is it that no matter where you are in this film, you sound like you're talking from a bathroom in Denny's? Ah! Dana Carvey. Oh, I see what you did there, movie. Thanks. I would have had no idea that Christopher Lambert was playing that kid all grown up.
I will kill you, Capanisio.
What the hell is up with Christopher Lambert's hair in this movie? Seriously, he's a pair of glasses away from hosting a famous SNL sketch with Mike Myers and then doing nothing funny ever again. So Dana Jeritrix over here is on his way to deliver some good old-fashioned revenge until...
You're not ready. Not yet. I will introduce you to a master.
There's this lame back and forth between them about becoming a master druid during this incredibly dull fight scene.
And when I learn to do that, will I have a drop of your blood?
When you achieve that, you'll dispose of my life. You must become a master druid.
I will become a master druid.
For me, I notice that when a fight scene doesn't work, it's usually because one or both of them won't shut the fuck up. That, and they're fighting on a seesaw.
Where's the druid? What druid?
Holy shit! Nicolas Cage's hair has finally found its nemesis.
Assemble your warriors, join me on my expedition to Britain, and half of everything you seize.
That's great and all, but I have about an hour and 40 minutes of training montages and love scenes to do, all in preparation on getting revenge for my father's death by the hand of his brother, my uncle. For I will see justice.
What do you think you're doing?
Setting my house in order and avenging my father.
And what? Okay, wait. So you're telling me that you waited all those years so you could ride up on horseback in midday so you could stab your uncle through the chest and out his ass? You know, that actually kind of works. No, I buy it. No, it makes for a short movie. I mean, if you gotta cut it short, that's fine, you know, but, well, what I was...
I will lead you and the other warriors of gold to invade the island of Britain.
There's still more of this movie? Fuck! From this point, Vercingetorix and his citizens of Gaul join forces with Caesar. Some time passes, and Vercingetorix is now the perfect embodiment of what a date rapist looks like. His long-lost girlfriend, Epina, suddenly shows up. Then a man named Dumerix leaves because he wishes to live free or some bullshit.
Dumnorix, what are you going to do?
Whatever I can. Whenever I can.
Bring him back.
Caesar then orders Dumerix to be captured. When Vercingetorix confronts him, Dumerix tells him a dark secret.
And Arverne against Arverne? Who profited the most from the death of Celtil?
Vercingetorix is able to put together that Caesar was the one behind the murder of his father because Caesar had the most to gain out of his death. So naturally, he has one of the Roman guards deliver this message in the most logical of ways. Yes, I get it. He bit the guy's hand, and then when he grew up, he ends up cutting the same man's arm off and then sending it to the guy who was responsible for killing his father. I understand that, but I don't think Caesar gets it. As a matter of fact, when he sees the hand, he's just like, oh, that's a severed hand. Watch.
What does this hand mean?
That you have made an enemy.
See?
You are banned from the city.
He gets banished for all of a day, he sneaks in later that night, kills a few Roman guards, and now he's king. Did that scene really need to last that long? They need to shorten that shit because I'm getting fucking bored. So in retaliation, Vercingetorix and his people start torching Roman camps and villages because...
I can't let the Romans take Avaricum with all its supplies.
What? That's insane! You're a king now! I mean, you're the leader of men, it's in your name! Fight! Pick up a sword! This movie does this a lot. There's a lot of awkward edits where they seem to go on for a few seconds too long, and it's just kind of like, Okay, where was that going? Caesar orders his men to go after the people of Cracovia. Hey, I spent all week working on that model. Meanwhile, back at Castle Grayskull, some of Vercingetorix's men start yelling at them for what has happened to their people.
They've all perished! You abandoned them! You refuse to fight!
Hey, isn't that Vercingetorix's dad? Could they not afford another actor? This is one of the best excuses for fucking up I've ever heard. Check it out.
Your anger is my anger. At myself! Because I made one mistake. I listened to you.
That was some cold shit. Caesar and his men arrive at Cracovia with the aid of the Udins, but once they're ready for attack, they get pelted with chickens and vegetation. Don't worry, the Cracovians send reinforcements, but it's not what you think. That's right, don't underestimate the power of boobage, because apparently it renders you mentally handicapped for a short period of time. It's then revealed that the Udins are no longer allies to the Romans because of what they did to the city of Avaricum.
Caesar has massacred Avaricum. He's no longer our friend. You who've united us in this fight, you're my brother.
Fuck, this movie really loves its non-dramatic, dramatic slow motion. It's another one of those scenes that's there for filler and then either has an odd payoff or none at all. It's really fucking annoying. Which immediately segues into my next problem with this movie, the fucking soundtrack. Forget the fact that in the majority of the film, the music fails at bringing any real emotion to the quieter, more personal scenes. But even after all of that, the battle score takes the fucking cake. It's all over the place. This score is so bad, it's what it would sound like if you went to your friend's house as a kid and his dad had a few too many to drink and he decided to bring out the Casio 3000 and freestyle in front of the kids. It's that fucking bad. So the Romans retreat and the Gauls claim victory. You can tell they won because of how hard my nipples are. I mean, what?
Accelerate the orders of the Empire.
I don't know what it is about this scene, but I feel like it's missing some epic score or something. Beyond that, all I can ask is, why the hell are they having a conversation all the way across the cave? And why the fuck is it snowing on him and not Vercingetorix? Why is it snowing at all? The Gauls have a giant celebration while Caesar and his men visit the island of Dr. Moreau. I'm kidding, but seriously, this is why you should be afraid of gingers. Turns out Caesar gained the Teutons as allies. The Teutons start killing some of the Gauls, so Vercingetorix and his men head to Alasia.
Allow me the honor of giving you my bedroom.
Shit, alright, I can't take this anymore. The dubbing in this film is so fucking atrocious. I'm pretty sure 100% of this movie has been dubbed over. Yes, I know it's a French film, but you can clearly tell that this movie was filmed in English. Either way, it's like the moment that they got the actors in the studio to record their dialogue, they're like, okay, you have 15 minutes, and don't repeat yourself, and if you mess up, just keep going! Never mind. I take that back. From now on, I will do all of my reviews like this. It just makes the whole experience so much better, don't you think? No! We find that the Romans have arrived to Alasia as well, which causes the Gauls to retreat within their walls to await relief.
You must ride to the four winds. Gather a huge army of relief and return.
The last couple of battles, I've been praying for it to be the last, but this fucking thing just keeps going. And I'll be a son of a bitch if they aren't trying to drag this movie out as much as they can.
We must elect the general of the relief army.
Ugh, this movie is long enough as it is. I don't care who gets voted to be in charge of the relief team.
You always change the rules. I mean, you can't play like that.
He's right. You're even. He's not playing to lose or to win. He wants to keep the game from ending.
So you're saying there's subtext here?
I read it.
Are we in a Van Damme movie? Do we really need to see 40 different angles of the same 12 actors shooting bows and arrows? Gee, I wonder where all those arrows went. It's pretty apparent that the goals failed pretty hard. Vercingetorix decides to go and surrender himself in front of Caesar.
Is going where nothing more can be written.
You know, I think I get it now. The more important you are as a character, the more your voice echoes. Yeah. This movie can eat a bag of dicks.
Caesar was...
What? Who the fuck are you? Oh, it's the narrator. I hate it when they introduce a narrator at the tail end of a movie. It's just stupid and lazy writing.
A few steps away, 2 years earlier, at about 2 in the afternoon.
Around 2 in the afternoon. What, did the director feed you lines and you had to jot them down on a napkin at the last minute? Ugh, I take it back. This movie should be called Druids. Totally not Highlander, and sure as shit isn't Braveheart. With all the terrible dubbing, the score, Christopher Lambert in his Dana Carvey wig, the boobs. This movie isn't that bad, actually. Movie is... No, it's best. Ah, shit. To be honest, I just wanted this movie to end around the 45-minute mark, possibly sooner. All I wanted was some good fight scenes and a well-rounded story. But what we did get is shitty fight scenes and a writer who put in details that neither drove or enhanced the story. Fuck, this is one of the worst $2 that I've ever spent. I gotta have a better movie around here somewhere. Or a worse one. I don't know. You might have to stay and find out. But until next time, I've been Steve H.S.
Steve went on to watch other movies. Some bad, some terrible. He watched until he couldn't watch anymore. Then, one day in the fall, around 4 in the afternoon, after reruns of Saved by the Bell, Steve changed the channel by the order of his girlfriend.